Running a business comes with a lot of what ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Hello, and
hello.
welcome to Bois, King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I am, what they could call me Researching Rusty today.
Researching Rusty.
Yeah, Researching Rusty today. I went a little deep on the title of this episode.
Okay, so welcome. We were going to try to do this yesterday, and for some reason the cameras wouldn't coordinate.
Life happens.
So we did it. Okay.
Alrighty.
I hope you're okay, Artie. I see you there.
Yeah, I hope you're good, Artie.
All right, today, King of the Hill, Season 8, Episode 8, or in the year of our Lord, 7 ABE 21.
It would be Ceci Ni Passon, King of the Hill, is the name of this episode.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, which this actually also is okay. So we keep talking about the last one to use digital ink, or the last one to be cell animation or whatever. This is the last, or the from this episode on, there are no episodes whatsoever that have any cell animation. Yeah, because there was two I think there was two in this season, maybe, or one or two. I can't think of his because they're holdover episodes from season 7. You know how we talk about the ABE, season 7 ABE episode 20, whatever.
Like this is 7 ABE 21.
So some of these episodes were holdovers from season 7. So the last episode to have cell animation was actually Rich Hank, Poor Hank.
Oh, okay.
That was the final one, which was the last episode that we did, I believe, right? I think that was our last episode.
The last one we did was the last one we did. It was she goes to Monsignor, whatever his name is.
Yeah, this one was
this is Rich Hank, Poor Hank.
Yeah, this is Rich Hank, Poor Hank.
So
this
is the last one.
I actually wrote all my notes about the wrong episode.
That's okay.
I thought we were episode. I was one further. I guess it's because we didn't record yesterday. So
that's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, never mind then. So my notes are null and void.
This one is Rich Hank, Poor Hank.
Rich Hank, Poor Hank.
Originally aired Sunday, June 4th, 2004. When Bobby mistakenly believes that his parents are rich, he steals Hank's credit card, which is wild, and goes on a shopping spree. Okay, so I know that you had been mentioning something about Legos and building a set on camera. I came home yesterday, and my wife's like, "Oh, you're home too early." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do I need to leave for a little while?" And she goes, "No, I just haven't finished this." So she was in our living room building this for me.
Built by Brickcraft. It is an
Yep.
actually officially licensed, Lego
Mike
figure,
Judge's
or
name is on the
Brickcraft
back
figure.
license plate
Yeah,
here.
which we're gonna do an episode. So Mike was gifted that. I actually gifted myself.
He did.
I gifted myself that, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
build it on episode one Friday
cool.
episode. So I actually do have some facts about this one. So
Yeah, let's go.
this is actually based on a 1997 self-help book. The title of it is Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a book by Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lecter.
I remember when that came
And
out.
it was like a personal finance book. So it was just like a compare and contrast of two different financial philosophies from two of the people in this book. So Kiyosaki's father was a poor dad, a struggling dad, and then his best friend's dad was a successful entrepreneur, rich dad. So it was just like a contrast of his dad, and then it like argues for financial literacy, financial independence, all that stuff. So that's that's what that book was about. But in this book, or not this book,
I think
sorry,
that guy did like a TED Talk first or something like that then launched that book, or maybe it was after.
Yeah, something like that. We actually see a business called Shellwins, which is a high-end department store in here. And then there's some voices in here too. We got the mustachioed taxi driver, which is that's just Toby Huss.
Okay.
Then we have Amiglio, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to say his name. That would be David Herman's voice. So that's somebody we've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Eric, which is done by Tara Strong, which is Bobby. Not Bobby. Tara Strong is Bubbles. Sorry, she does Bubbles. She's a famous voice actress. She does a lot of.
What was her name again? Sorry.
Tara Strong.
Tara Strong. Okay.
Yeah, she does a lot of stuff. She's like a very, very busy voice actress. She was on the Fairly Odd Parents, Rugrats, Beetlejuice the animated series. She was on All Grown Up, Ben 10, Teen Titans, Powerpuff Girls, obviously, Babar,
the
Drawn Together, 101 Dalmatians, the series, Lilo and Stitch, the series. So, and she's been in a few other episodes that we've already went over in season 2, 3, and 6. This is actually her last episode that she does on King of the Hill. And then the other voice is Eric's father, which is voiced by none other than Stephen Root. And then we get
Artie's got a couple of things in here. Rich Man, Poor Man was also a TV miniseries in the 70s. I think it was a PBS thing.
Why was it? Yeah.
Yeah, Rich Man, Poor Man. I think it was about the same time as Upstairs, Downstairs. And then Shellwins was where Bobby found out he was fat.
Yeah, it was an ABC miniseries based on
ABC.
Irwin Shaw's novel. It became a cultural phenomenon, paving the way for future literary adaptations like Roots.
Yep.
It had a young Nick Nolte, and it had Peter Strauss in it too.
Peter Strauss. Wow. Boy, that takes me back. Peter Strauss, I think he was in Ghost Story also. It's the one where like Fred Astaire and all those people were in.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so Bobby is going to steal a credit card. Here we go. We start off at Shellwins at the mall, the very aforementioned shopping center that we were talking about. Bobby and Hank are there, and they're at the counter, and they're looking at wallets. So Bobby is going to get his first wallet. Hank says, "Take your time, Bobby. You're not just wallet shopping. You're learning a valuable lesson in money management. Savor it." And then he wants him to savor it. Bobby looks and looks and looks, and he finds a fancy one, and he goes, "This one." The guy at the counter says, "That'll be $135. $135 for
a wallet is crazy."
Yeah. He goes, "Dad, pay the man." He goes,
"I don't pay for wallets. I think every wallet I've ever had has been like a gift for like Christmas or something like that."
I think whenever I buy a wallet, if it's not under $20, I don't want it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if it costs more than the money that you have to put into it,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
if
right.
it costs $20 and I only have $35 and I spend $20 on it, I only have $15 to put in it, and I spent more on the wallet than I had to put in it. That'd be kind of
Hank says,
kind of funny.
"Now, why would you pick that overpriced thing when there's a sturdy, reasonable price $15 one right in front of you?" Bobby says, well, that one's pretty snazzy, and it looks like it can hold a ton of money. He goes, Bobby, he goes, that way, if I wanted to impress someone, I could pull out a really big wad of cash. Bam! Dad, give me a big wad of cash. Give me a big wad of cash. He goes, what are you trying to do, Bobby? Get us mugged? So they leave the store. They're walking in the mall, and Hank's still on this waving your money around thing. And he said, why would you go waving your money around in public? Because it's cool, and I think it makes people like you. How much money do you make a year anyway?
Yeah, he's making Hank uncomfortable.
Hank's like, Bobby, where'd you pick up that kind of talk? He said, I thought you wanted to talk about money. He said, I did, quietly and without mentioning any dollar figures. Bobby, only jackasses go around saying how much money they make. And that's pretty true, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
But they stop in front of a DVD store. If you want to place this in a time and like era, this is in front of a DVD store. So
yeah, so DVD store about 2000s. This will be this show aired in 04.
2004. So even DVD stores were kind of starting to wane at this point, you know. But what I figured it was like a Babbage's or something like that, you know, because it looked like they had a bunch of sale signs on the
or
front.
Sam Goodies or something.
He goes, what are you talking about? Julia Roberts makes $1 million a year. And he goes, are you calling America sweetheart a jackass? Because there was a poster in the window of Where Apes Fear to Tread, starring Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Where Apes Fear to Tread, which could be a play on. There's a movie called 12 O'Clock High, which is a Gregory Peck movie. And as they're getting into the plane, above the door of the plane, it says where angels and generals fear to tread.
Yeah, it says and generals.
Angels and generals. Yeah.
So he says, you calling America's sweetheart a jackass? He goes, it's just vulgar, Bobby. The amount of money a man makes is between him and the professionals down at the H&R Block. The H&R Block, not just H&R Block. That is a very Texas thing. Down at the H&R Block. All right, now we're in the Hill Kitchen. Hank and Peggy are paying bills, and Peggy says, who are we talking to in Dallas for 37 minutes? She looks all disgusted, and she goes, oh, I remember. And Hank says, where did I go wrong, Peggy? How did I raise a son who goes around with that filthy money mouth of his? He actually had the audacity to ask me how much money I make a year. She goes, I do not know where he'd get an attitude like that. It certainly was not from us. We raised him to be uncomfortable about anything that personal, which is spot on.
Spot on for Hank, yeah.
On. In comes Bobby from the other room. He goes, Dad, Ladybird's scooting again. He walks in and Hank's like, oh, hey, son. You guys were talking about money, weren't you? No. He hides the checkbook. He goes, yes, you were. You were paying bills. Peggy's like, no, we weren't. We were making out. And then she starts. She grabs him and starts kissing him real hard. And he goes, Peggy, then what is this? And he grabs a calculator and he says, Bobby. She goes, let me help. And she goes, why? He says, why? So you can blab to the whole neighborhood how much your mother's haircuts cost? And they're fighting over the calculator. He goes, I'm not a little kid. And then Peggy says, now.
You were, in fact, a little kid.
He says, I'm not a little kid. And he leaves. And then Peggy looks at Hank and goes, now, where were we? And then he goes, oh, no, it was on the phone bill. So she was getting all horny.
She was, yeah. She was
the horn dog.
She was getting horned up.
All right, we're in the alley with all four guys. So that's Bill and Dale and Hank and Boomhauer. And we hear, yep, uh-huh. My boy asked me how much money I make. Bill's like, the nerve. Bill is the guy keeping the peace here. He goes, and then Dale says, the less kids know about money, the less likely they are to rat you out under the pressure of a federal investigation. Something he's thought about a lot. Hank says, I tell you what, it's tough enough to teach a kid to judge people on the character without TV and the MTV.
The MTV.
Filling their heads.
The MTV is dead. Rest in peace to the MTV.
Yeah.
Buried by Rob Dyrdek.
We were watching.
He carried it out on his shoulders.
Oh, we were watching that Diddy documentary on Netflix. And
you know what? Everybody needs to pause what they're doing right now and just apologize to 50 Cent. Even if you did something wrong or not, because that's not a guy that you would want digging up anything on you.
No, that's not a guy. I heard that he's going after Jay-Z next.
Oh, he has more to do for Diddy.
Yeah.
He only gave it according to everything that's out there, he only gave like a portion of what he has. He has countless hours of recordings of voices, and there's a lot of people, I guess, that P. Diddy's pissed off that 50 Cent was able to pay for all of the all the sound bites and all the video.
Well, honestly,
crazy.
Had Diddy not had a camera crew follow him around the whole time,
yeah,
he would have gotten way less trouble.
Well, not only that, it shows you that one of the biggest things for investigative journalism is cash.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a lot of money to push the issues and get the information and
Absolutely.
you got to have irrefutable sources and evidence. So the things that he has are like firsthand documentation, firsthand source stuff.
Sure.
So the fact that he can get all that and have all this and come out with all these documentaries about all these people and stuff, because he's not done. Apparently, he's got more than just Jay-Z. So I think it's great.
Artie says he likes it when Peggy gets caught up in making.
Peggy a little naughty gal.
So Bill's like, and then Dale says under investigation, and Hank's like, the MTV filling their heads with nonsense. Bill's TV's an open sewer. He just like blurts things out now.
Yeah, apparently. He does.
Boomhauer, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, man, dang old MTV Cribs, man, talking about a Ja Rule on there. He got a dang old refrigerator full of Cristal champagne, man. He says Crystal, but it's Cristal.
It's Cristal, and actually, I looked up some stuff about Cristal to give some cool little history about it. So Cristal had been around for since 1876, but it didn't become commercially available till the 40s.
Oh,
so what it was created by a champagne producer called Louis Roederer, and they're like this big French producer, and they were founded in 1776, just like our country was, but they created for Alexander II, who was the Tsar of Russia at the time. So this was his wine. This was a champagne created for him, and it became really popular in the Russian nobility at the time. So it didn't even really become commercially available. They made lots of it for the Tsar, so it got around into private collections and stuff like that of the day of the 1800s, early 1900s, and stuff like that. But it was what they called the first prestige cuvee, which cuvee means like tank. It's like how the wine is stored or whatever.
Yeah.
But so the champagne bottle as it looks and the style of it, it was the Tsar feared assassination, so he wanted to have the bottles made so that he could see the bubbles in the bottle. So he wanted to see the bubbles exploding. So he knew that if it was flat, there would be no bubbles.
Yep.
So he knew that because as long as there's a seal on it, there's bubbles floating in it. So that was his theory behind it. So he hosted this lavish dinner for a Prussian king and the Chancellor of Germany at the time, Otto von Bismarck. And he had them so you could see the bubbles or whatever, and then that was where the style of it came. But it didn't become popularly or commercially available, until 1945 after the end of World War II. But it's funny because the only reason why Cristal gets a reference in most pop culture things is because through hip hop culture, decadent things and luxury and all that they like luxury. It comes on luxury brands, and it became like a part of the public image of the 90s and the 2000s. The Notorious B.I.G. has Cristal lyrics, R. Kelly and Diddy, to name two. But Jay-Z and Tupac and everybody in that era had their own thing. And Tupac actually had a cocktail called Thug Passion, which was Alizé Gold Passion, which Alizé is another. It's like a vodka-based liqueur, and he would mix the vodka-based liqueur with Cristal, and that was Thug Passion.
That sounds
so
gross.
there you go. Yeah, that's a little Cristal history for those that care.
Hank says he's listened to much of this. He's going to, well, I better head in for dinner. Bobby's probably badgering Peggy about how much her wedding ring costs. He goes inside, and Dale and the guys are still left out there, and Dale says, so how much do you think old Hank is pulling down? Boomhauer says, I'll tell you what, man, that blue truck like that don't come cheap. Now we're inside. Bobby is playing his Game Boy in the living room, and he's like, gotcha. And in comes Hank. Yep, got my check today. And Peggy says, so how much was it for? Not to be a Bobby about it. I mean, Jesus, Peggy. Okay. So they're in the kitchen. He's in the living room, and he overhears all this. And Hank says, $1,000. He goes, that's right. You're going to have dinner with a man who made $1,000 today. Peggy says, well, that's a pretty generous bonus. He goes, yep. Not quite as good as last year, but people just aren't selling grills like they did last year. Boy, last year was something else. So Bobby has overheard this, and this is what starts our Three's Company style misunderstanding.
Yeah,
here.
it starts an exaggeration because when you're a kid, like you don't really have an most kids don't have like a concept of money in that sense.
Yeah.
So when they start thinking about money, they start saying, oh, a million, a million this, 1,000 that, 100,000 of this, and it's really not
says
that
that
much.
about the house here in just a second. So Bobby and Joseph are in his room. They have a calculator. They're trying to figure out exactly how much he makes. Bobby says, so the way I figure it, my dad makes $1,000 a day. That's $365,000 a year. That would be if he worked 7 days a week, Bobby.
That would be if he works 7 days a week. Which he doesn't work 7 days a week.
Joseph's like, whoa.
Which I'm sorry for anybody that does. I only work 14 days a month.
Wow. But you work, what, 12, 15-hour shifts?
Yeah. Well, just, 12 hours on the books is what we're scheduled to work. Sometimes it's like an hour more, hour less, somewhere around there.
So he goes, so the way I figure it, my dad makes $1,000 a day. That's $365,000 a year. Joseph's like, whoa. He says, yeah, whoa, but check it out. He's been doing it for 20 years. That's $7,300,000. No way. Yeah. And he barely spends a dime. So he's got all that money just sitting around. What's he spending it on? Our house? That thing costs $1 million, maybe $2 million tops. He goes, Joseph says, oh no. Are you sure about this? Bobby and Joseph start going through the Hill house. And they're looking for something that will prove that his dad has made $7,300,000 in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I don't understand why people go digging through the house either.
Bobby says,
"Did you ever do that as a kid? Go like digging through your
not
parents?
really. I
reading
mean,
their
to a
things?
certain extent, I guess, but not really.
Not really.
I didn't really care.
Yeah, you go digging, you find things like
I
that.
don't.
I
don't want to find.
I got two brothers in Alaska that they adopted
Yeah,
out.
I
You
don't-
know, just
I
something
don't-
like that. You
I
know
don't
what I'm
need to find
saying?
that
You
out.
walk in there and you end up digging up some like dark family secrets. Yeah, no, I learned the hard way. You don't go digging around reading news.
Bobby says there's got to be something somewhere that proves we're rich. And they're in the garage now, and he sees a box and it says oil records. So he pulls those down, and Joseph's like, why is it locked? He's trying to pry it open with a.
He's the oil record for his truck.
Yeah.
That's what's funny.
He
yeah.
tries to pry it
They
open
think
with a
it's like
screwdriver.
They think it's like money,
He goes,
like some oil money. but
Bobby
it's
says,
just
because it's
literally-
about my dad's secret oil wells. My dad's
Yeah.
got oil. Joseph's like, dude, you're rich. You're
That's funny.
really rich. He goes, I am. This is so cool. You are not, you idiot. But okay. Now he has a dream that pops up, and this is possibly my favorite part. A big tower with helicopters around it, and we see, and Hank. So we have a Hill-ocopter with Bobby and Hank. They are both dressed like pimps.
Yeah.
And this helicopter comes through and he goes, I'll tell you what, Bobby, let's say we tally-ho it over to the money room. Bobby's like, capital idea, Dad, capital. He goes, well done, son. He says, thank you, Father. But we see them in
idea.
top hats, these weird big ass sunglasses,
Yeah.
and their swim trunks. They have a bunch of chains and jewelry on. They have fur coats over it. When they take their fur coats off, we see the swimsuits. We glance at the other end of the pool. Peggy is there in her bathing suit with some white tigers and a ball gown with a crown on for some reason. And then he kind of shakes it off. He comes back in. By the way, the music in that flashback dream sequence, it sounds a lot like the Silicon Valley intro music to the show.
Oh yeah,
And
I
Mike
think it
Judge-
was that guy just doing the riff tracks. What do you
Mike-
call them? Interstitials.
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 But yeah, it sounds a lot like it. And then of course Mike Judge did Silicon Valley also. So I got to wonder if it's kind of that. It's a that. Kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
All right. So he wakes up to Joseph saying, I don't know, Bobby. We lived next door to you guys for a long time. You don't seem rich. And he does not seem rich. But this is at Connie's house now, by the way. Bobby, Connie, and Joseph are sitting around. He says, Connie says, I mean, you guys don't have half the stuff we do, and everything you do have, we have a better version of. which is a rough thing to say, honestly.
That's terrible. Yeah, that's tough.
Bobby says, well, my dad's always going off about how cheap stuff is just as good as expensive stuff. He spent half a dinner last night saying, anyone who says they can tell the difference between this and real Coca-Cola is lying. I tell you what.
You know what? And that's the thing is people are like, oh, cheaper is better. You know what? Bought a Bose Bluetooth speaker like almost 20 years ago, and it still functions the day that it did.
Sure.
I've had smaller, similar size Bluetooth speakers that are $10, $15 here or there kind of thing, and they break in a month. They break in a week. They break in a year. None of them.
To what it is.
And the sound output and stuff. I always find it better if you spend the money just a little bit extra. You don't even have to buy the high-end stuff. Generally, the mid-range stuff is generally good enough to last for, you know,
it's according to what it is. Like if we're talking about Coke, I'll take the H-E-B Cokes anytime.
I'll drink any of that stuff. I don't care what
way
it is.
cheaper.
Mountain Lightning is better than Mountain Dew almost.
So he says, my dad's always talking about how things are cheaper. Connie says, well, I guess it's possible. Maybe your dad is one of those rich misers. He goes, a what? A lot of rich people are just crazy. They hang on to every penny. Howard Hughes would wear Kleenex boxes on his feet, which is a real thing. And he wrote a whole instruction manual on the exact way his staff should serve him a peach. He goes, oh, my dad wrote a 13-step system for putting away groceries. She goes, oh, and there was this woman. They called her the Witch of Wall Street. She was so cheap that when her son got sick, she wouldn't even pay for a doctor, and they had to cut the kid's leg off. He goes, whoa. Joseph's like, gross. She says, boy, It seems like the richer people get, the cheaper they are. And the cheaper they get, the crazier they get. Bobby's kind of at the window. He's kind of worried about this. And he sees his dad through the window there go up to the trash can and open it up. And he goes, as he's coming out, he's like, Bobby, time to wrap pennies. Time to wrap pennies.
Time to wrap pennies. It's funny.
Then he looks in the trash can and he goes, dang it. Peggy, who threw out this mayonnaise jar? I use these to store extra screws. And we kind of see Bobby's face like, oh, my God, is he really a miser? Is he going to cut my leg off? Whatever.
He's really a miser.
And that is our first commercial break. We will take that, and we will be
right back.
We did it.
Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
You know, during that commercial break, we were just talking about movies, like Christmas movies.
Yeah,
and
Christmas
Elf in the
movies.
Air and things like that.
Buffalo Gal, won't you come out tonight? come out tonight.
We were talking about how there's only like 3 Christmas movies. You know, there's It's a Wonderful Life, which is what you were talking about.
Yeah,
and how it's never really been remade. They've tried a couple of different ways or whatever, but it's kind of untouchable, kind of like Gone with the Wind, you know, in my estimation. And then so there's that story. There's the Scrooge story, which, good God, have they done that to death? And then there's the third kind. This is what I'm going to call the Hallmark kind, where it's a lady in the city and she's a big deal and something happens because she's got to go back to her hometown that she said she'd never go back to. Then she meets a guy who's either a woodworker or maybe he plays Santa or maybe he's a recluse or something. She meets him, they fall in love, they break up, then they fall back in love and they learn the true meaning of Christmas. That would be the third one.
I kind of want to go back to that. We said it never been this, never been that.
Yeah.
They actually did a radio stage play based on the classic movie, and Bill Pullman was actually played.
Now that would be cool.
It was done on PBS in the 90s, and it was Martin Landau as Mr. Potter, Penelope Miller as Mary Hatch Bailey, Nathan Lane as Clarence, Sally Field as George's mother.
Wow.
It had Christian Slater in it, Minnie Driver, Jerry Van Dyke, Carol Kane. Oh my gosh, it had everybody in it. Had a good cast. I got to see if I could find that period to like watch. I wonder if that's like even available.
I wonder if he did
on the internet
Jimmy Stewart
anywhere.
voice when he was doing it. You know, since it's so
hot dog.
iconic.
Yeah. And so they did do another one too in the 70s. It was called It Happened One Christmas, which
that was the gender
I
bending
kind of
one you were
didn't do it.
talking
Yeah, the one where they gender reversed the roles. So it's centered around Mary Bailey Hatch instead of focusing on him. So it's about Mary and instead of
what's his name?
George
Bailey. Hey,
but in this he's called George Hatch because she's Mary Bailey.
Gotcha.
And he's George Hatch.
Artie said something before we went to commercial. He said that the kids don't have a concept of taxes either, and he's absolutely right.
No, they do
about
not.
that.
Happy podcast streaming day.
Welcome, Michael.
Welcome. Connie was describing was Hetty Green.
Right.
All right. Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, Miracle on 34th Street. That's another one. That's a different one, but it does have the love interest thing in it. And then Michael also added the Christmas story kind.
Oh, child wants a toy or dreams
yes,
about it and
yes,
gets
and
the toy.
He's absolutely right. So there are 4 so far.
My favorite trope of that one, or my favorite movie with that trope, is Jingle All the Way. Where Arnold Schwarzenegger is spending the whole movie trying to get that damn toy, and he fights Sinbad.
Yeah. Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger, we watched The Running Man last night. The new
Oh,
one.
good.
The new one
Was good.
It was very good. I liked it a lot. Yeah, the money that they offer people, are called new dollars, and they have Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on it, which I thought was a pretty cool nod to the original one. You know.
Yeah. So that just to wrap up about that, It Happened One Christmas thing. It's actually got a really good cast. It's got Marlo Thomas from That Girl, Wayne Rogers, who was in MASH.
Yeah.
He was Captain Trapper. It had Orson Welles,
Wow.
which Orson Welles is the famous radio guy who did War of the Worlds. Yeah. It had Cloris Leachman.
Leachman,
who was
one
in
of my
it.
all-time favorite comedians.
But it also had Dick O'Neill, Barney Martin.
Dick O'Neill, I had one time. I had to get a shot.
Barney Martin was Jerry Seinfeld's dad.
Oh, okay.
Morty in
in
Seinfeld.
The guy who played Morty. Yeah. Okay.
And Doris Roberts, and then some other old fogies. But yeah, so Christopher Guest, he was in there too.
Oh, Christopher.
But yeah, so that was they
did
do other stuff.
I did not realize Christopher Guest was married to what's her face from Aliens, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
It's a crazy pairing.
Yeah.
All right. So the kids are still kind of trying to suss out whether Hank is a millionaire or not. So they're kind of hiding from behind a fence and watching Hank. And Bobby says, "Look at him breaking his back to wash his truck. Oh, God, I don't want to lose my leg. Can you imagine the cheap fake leg he's going to buy me? He'll probably just make it himself out of a broom handle and a shoehorn." Well, that's probably true if he had to make you a fake leg. Connie says, "I don't think he's that crazy." He goes, "Yet. But I can't take any chances. He just needs to loosen up. Maybe if I can get him to spend a little money and see it's not the end of the world, he won't go crazy." Joseph says, "Hey, go ask him to buy some horses. We'll ride them to school. We'll be legends."
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it comes full circle when Bobby has to get a horse in the new season.
Yeah.
He goes, no. I got to find something he likes. Ease him into pry and open that wallet of his. When he sees how much fun it is, there won't be anything standing between me and that sweet ching-a-ching-ching. Ching-a-ching-ching.
Ching-a-ching-ching.
Now we're at Dale's. It's nighttime. We're at the dinner table. So we got Joseph, Dale, and Nancy. And Joseph's like, "Hey, did you guys hear? Bobby's rich. Turns out Mr. Hill is some kind of crazy millionaire oil something."
I think it's funny that all it was just the oil records of his dad's pickup truck. It's so funny. Yeah.
Nancy says, "Shug, you know better than to spread silly gossip like that. What did Reverend Stroop say?" Excuse me. I'm so sorry. What did Reverend Stroop say? It was something about Jesus and gossip, and it rhymed. And Dale's just sitting there going, "Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. She picks up the dishes and goes into the kitchen, and he goes, "Tell me more of Hank's fortune, Joseph." Joseph says, "Connie says he's some kind of like rich miser or something." The Millionaire Next Door. I read that book, but I had no idea it was about Hank. It was not, but okay.
Yeah.
So we are now at Emerson Hardware, which I believe we've been before. And Dale is following Hank around inside, and he goes, "Hank, will you buy me a ratchet set?" "No, Dale." "How about a nightclub? I'll call it Hank's." I mean, he's just already, boy, they just so fast to think something's true.
Yeah.
All right, we're now at Arlen Pet Depot. We got Bobby, we got Hank, and we got Ladybird. And Hank is talking to the person at the counter. "Just how soft are these soft begging strips? Because Ladybird's gums are very sensitive." Bobby says, "Hey, Dad, look at this. Now you and your dog can ride a burro into the Grand Canyon." He's got like a little pamphlet he's reading. And they're looking at the pamphlet. He goes, "Huh, so they put at the range right in her teeth." And they show the little picture, and it's got a dog on the back of a donkey, and the dog's wearing a sombrero, and he's got the bit right between his mouth. You know, he's moving the burro around or whatever. Hardy says, "Did you hear Bobby's rich because Hank has money?" Two different things. He goes, "I know. Can you believe it?" He goes, "Oh, Ladybird gets to keep the sombrero." "Oh, Ladybird looks great in hats." "Well, she sure does, but I don't know." Bobby says, "Don't think about it. Just do it. You deserve it. God knows Ladybird deserves it." "What did she do?" He goes, "Well, there's a sing-along at the bottom. It does sound pretty good." He goes, "Oh, it is great. You'll have the time of your life, and I'll get a pinball machine, and we'll all have the time of my life." He goes, "What?" He goes, "And then I'll get a Slurpee machine and a white tiger." "Oh, thank you, Dad. This is going to be so great." It just ballooned so quickly. He goes, "Dang it, Bobby. I'm not going to start tossing money around like a drunken roughneck on payday just because you don't have any money sense. Look at her. She's crushed." He's pointing to Ladybird. He goes, "You happy now?" And then
Dang it, poor girl.
Now we're back at the Hill House. We're in the kitchen. Hank says, "Bobby, sit down. We need to talk." And Bobby says, "Have you reconsidered the pinball machine?" "No, idiot." And Hank says, "Son, everything you buy costs money, which somebody has to earn. Now, one way or another, I'm going to get you thinking right." Bobby says, "But I'm not the one thinking crazy." He goes, "Now, see, that's exactly why your mother and I have decided to make some changes." He sets a bunch of $1 bills out in front of Bobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like the tip thing that jackasses do at a restaurant.
Yeah.
He puts a bunch of $1 bills out. He goes, "Now, you rented that video game last Friday," and he starts taking bills away as he's talking about each one of these things.
Yeah, he does.
So he goes, "You returned it late. Hey, quit it. You bought that Teen People at the Get In and Get Out. I've itemized it all here on your your invoice." And he hands him an invoice for this thing. He's got $2 left on the table by the time Hank finishes. He goes, $2, but I want to go to the movies with Joseph today. He goes, "Oh, that sounds like fun, and I'd be happy to drive you. If you can earn the rest of the money you need, hey, you could collect cans, 5 cents each, just like the streets are littered with nickels." Said, "You got to be kidding." "Nope." "Oh, and you're going to need a couple of heavy-duty garbage bags. This ought to cover them." And he takes his last $2.
Yeah.
The
only thing I know that's redeemable like that anymore is there's a milk brand. I drank their milk one time. I drank that whole quart of vanilla milk.
I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember. I wish I could remember so I could shout them out. But if you take the bottles back cleaned to the business
Yep.
area of HEB, they will give you a few dollars back towards the bottle.
Well, it's expensive milk too.
That's the thing is the milk is priced at $4, but when you ring it up, it's at $7, and it'll say on there
Then you get your
bottle
money back.
deposit, whatever, and then you
Gotcha,
take
gotcha,
it and you
gotcha.
get your money back. So it's really $4 milk, which is still kind of pricey,
Still kinda
but it is specialty milk. It's
But you still
not.
got to lay out the $3 each time. So it's not like you truly get your. If you're just going to do it once, yes, it's $4 milk. If you're going to do it more than once, it's $7 milk.
They're always holding on to your $3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. So now we're in the alley. It's all four guys. Hank says, "Don't be surprised if Bobby comes around here asking for those cans because they're all drinking beer. I taught him an important lesson today." Guys all seem kind of mad at Hank. They're not really saying anything to him, right? He goes, "Go." He gets another beer out of the cooler, and Bill goes, "Go ahead there, Hank. Take all the beer you want. I'm so thrilled. My hard-earned money can make you happy." I mean, these
They're
guys
messing with him now.
hook,
Yeah.
line and sinker, you know?
Yeah.
Hank says, "It was your turn to buy the beer, Bill. That's how it works." He goes, "Yeah, I guess that's exactly how it works. I'm not getting rich cutting people's hair, Hank." "Well, things are tough all over." "Oh, I bet they are." And he just storms off like
That's
a
funny.
scorned lover or something, you know?
Things are getting tough all over. I'm
and
sure they are,
they're
Hank.
just standing there, and he goes, "Yep." And then you hear, "Yep." And then, And then he runs, Bill runs back in like his ass is on fire. And he goes, "Please, just give me a few $1,000s, Hank, please." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Oh, just give him the money, Hank." Boomhauer. "Yeah, man, you know, dang old money's like a wind, man. Only feel it when it's moving, man." He goes, "My God, am I the only
Money's like the wind. You only feel it when it's
It's
moving.
moving.
I like that. That's a good one.
My-
That's a shirt. There you go.
That is. My God, am I the only sane person around
And you know what
here?
should be on the shirt? It should be Boomhauer standing in one of them money tunnels with money
Oh, that's
flying all
good. Yeah, I
around.
like that.
There we go.
And so Hank kind of storms off, and Dale says, "Way to go, Bill. You single-handedly derailed the gravy train." "Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted some of his money. That was all." All right, now we're back at the Hill House in the kitchen.
That's crazy.
Bobby and Joseph, they get down the first aid kit because they're still looking for this proof, right?
There is none.
Bobby says, "Collect cans. My dad had his chance at life. I'm not going to let him take mine away. If this is an emergency, I don't know what it is because it says emergency on the
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
first aid kit." Pulls out an envelope that says for emergencies only. Opens it up, and there is a credit card in there. And Joseph, when Joseph is the voice of reason, you've gone too far.
You need to leave.
Joseph says, "Oh, no way, Bobby. You're not going to take your dad's credit card, are you?" Relax. Whatever we spend is just a drop in the bucket to him. Besides, he won't even notice it's gone.
Ooh.
You've known your dad for 12 years now. You think that man, that solid black and white thinking man, is not going to notice when that credit card is missing?
Nah.
I bet he checks it once a week.
Well, nowadays you get notifications. So somebody used your credit card, your phone would buzz, and you'd be like, "Well,
That's
I'm
true.
sitting at home and my card is at 7-Eleven and just bought $500 worth of gas." You know.
So we see Bobby, Joseph, and Connie. They run out and they take an Arlen cab to the shops at the Arboretum. Just go. And then they get there and the cabbie says 4320. He goes, "No problem. Here you go," and hands him the credit card. He kind of looks him up and down and he goes, "Thank you, Mr. Hill." And then everybody kind of looks up at the big shops at Arboretum sign and goes, wow. Now they are inside and they are just spending money like it's water, right? They're just going through it.
They are.
They're climbing a rock wall. Connie kind of falls. He says, "Don't give up, Connie. Try it again. I'm rich." Then they're playing a golf game. Then they're throwing balls. They're doing all kinds of stuff, right? So they're in the arcade. They're climbing rock walls. They're doing all the things kids would do. Now they come in. Or Connie is in the. I put here that Connie's in the sub. I don't know what that means. Bobby's got a VR headset on, and
which is now an actual thing.
Across the hallway, the mallway, whatever you want to call it, you see John Redcorn and some lady, right? And she goes, "Oh, Johnny, I'm having a wonderful time today." "Me too." And then he looks over and he sees them just spending money like crazy. And he sees Bobby paying at a with a credit card at the movies, and he goes, "So the rumors are true." He goes, "Hey, I just remembered I should get back to the healing center." "Oh, but we were going to buy you a bathing suit." He goes, "The next time, okay? That's my girl." And he takes off. Now, we're at Strickland Propane, and Redcorn comes dressed, when he puts on that suit with the bolo tie. And
he's
and
ready.
He twists up his plans, and he's psyching himself up to go in there because this is going to be his investor. He comes in, he goes, hey there, John Redcorn. He goes, Hank, America is aging. The baby boomers will soon become the senior boomers. Yeah, I guess so. Good. As an established leader in the healing community, I am in a unique position to capture this emerging market. I think you know where I'm going with this. For your investment of only $1 million, Hank's like, what?
What? Yeah.
I'm not asking you for a handout. This is an investment opportunity in the New Age Golden Years Assisted Living Facility. Sure. I'll give you $1 million. Would you like it in rubies or fairy dust? He said, someone's going to make a lot of money off this idea. It could have been us. And he rolls up those plans and just kind of storms out. Redcorn is looking a little scummy there, Artie. You got that right. We're at the Hill House. Peggy and Hank in green chairs in the living room. You know how they're always like, I don't understand how they can see the TV.
I don't either.
They sit in
Yeah.
those two chairs.
It's one of them old
straight back
TVs, and they're
chairs.
like 45 miles away from it. Yeah.
Straight back chairs, TV's all the way across the room, but they're watching TV. And the TV says, coming up next, find out what this man wants to show your children. And then the phone rings and he goes,
whoa.
All right, Peggy, tell me what happens. And then from the other room, you just hear Peggy go, oh my God, that is shocking. So you don't ever know what it is.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, dang it. He answers the phone. He goes, hello. Yes, Mr. Hill, this
Yellow.
is a courtesy call from Southwest Mutual about your credit card. I've already got a credit card. No, Mr. Hill. We were calling about some unusual charges. We've got a spike of several $1,000s over the last 2 days. What? No. That card's never been used. Thief. She goes, sir, if you'd like to dispute the charges. Oh, wait, here's something. An attempted charge coming through right now. Would you like me to have them hold the card? Hank is pissed.
So he should be pissed. I'd be pissed too if I was him.
We go over to where the card is being used, and that is at the mall.
Yep.
Bobby is in there, and he is trying on clothes. You can see on the register that says unauthorized use, hold card. So this guy behind the car, behind the cash wrap, his name is Emiglio. And he goes,
yeah, that's the one I couldn't pronounce. Yeah,
right.
Miglio.
He goes, I'm sorry, Mr. Hill. The machine is so damn slow. He goes, oh, take your time. You know, Miglio, on second thought, I think I will try that vest on. Hank runs in with 2 security guards, and he goes, where is that bastard? Bobby pops out and goes, ta-da, because he was going to show Emilio his
and that bastard ends up
Bobby?
being
He goes,
Bobby.
Dad. And then there's just swinging doors, just clack, 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 clack. So Hank has found out that it is Bobby. Ghetto Cowboy says 45 miles away from the TV. That is pretty far. And that is our second commercial break. We're going to take that, and
We'll be right back.
There it is. Here is the second one. Bye.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TicketLiquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
And we are back.
And we're back.
All right, so we are at the point where Hank knows it's Bobby. Bobby knows he's in trouble.
Bobby's cooked.
They're coming out of the mall together, and he goes, "You stole my credit card. My boy stole my credit card." He goes, "Why are you so mad? Can't you just pump a little extra propane?" Wow, what a shitty thing to say.
That is shitty.
He goes, "How'd you get to be a spoiled rich kid when we're not even rich?" They get in the truck, and Bobby looks back, and he has to wave away the limo he's hired because the guy's just waiting on him. They're driving home. He goes, "Okay, I'm sorry. I stole the credit card, but you just would have said no, and we both know you're loaded, so let's just say we're both wrong." He goes, "I'm loaded? Has everyone in the neighborhood lost their minds?" He goes, "Okay, Dad, I'll come clean. I know everything. I heard you talking about how you make $1,000 a day. $1,000? You mean my bonus?" He goes, "My once a year bonus?" He goes, "But what about your oil records in the garage?" "You mean my oil change records? You dumbass," is what he should have said.
Yeah, he's Bobby's been pretty sheepish.
So we're at the Hill House. We're in the kitchen. He's just he's laying into Bobby. "I used to think you were too young for this conversation, but I think we've all had enough of you learning about money on the streets. So here it goes. Our checkbook." And he just flashes it to him real quick. He goes, "I didn't even see anything." He goes, "Okay, you want to know about the family finances?" He gets up, closes the blinds, turns the overhead light on so it looks like a spotlight.
All the windows are locked.
Yeah. And he shows it to him. He goes, "Here," shows him everything. He goes, "So this is it? Please tell me you've at least got some gold buried in the backyard." He goes, "Nope, that's it. But responsible budgeting, we do fine." He goes, "That's our entertainment budget, but I spend that much on CDs every month. I use up the whole budget." He goes, "Yep. I guess I let you down. What the?" And he opens the blinds to see a jet ski being delivered to his house.
Wow.
He goes, "Oh, that must be the jet ski." Bobby's room a little bit later.
Crazy.
Hank comes in. Bobby is really depressed. Hank comes in and goes, "Well, I was able to pay off everything except the jet ski. Had to use my whole bonus and then some. Guess I'll never get that new shower pan." Shower pan is what he was saving up for. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." He goes, "So here's your punishment. I'm going to get whatever I can for the jet ski, and you're going to go do chores until you work off the difference between that and what it costs." He goes, "Okay. Now, your mother said something about a date with Madame Von Toilet Scrubbing." And then you see a toilet scrubber come around it comes around the door, and she goes, "Anyone seen Bobby?"
That's a great line.
It's really good. The jet ski is in the driveway. It's got a for sale sign on it. You see Bobby up there. He's cleaning gutters. Hank comes out and he goes, "Good job, Bobby. Hey, it looks hot up there. Why don't you come down and take a break?" Bobby says the weirdest thing, which is breaks are for guys on disability. What? What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
I don't know what that means, but it's funny. And he goes, "Well, I do need some help getting the jet ski down to the lake to sell it." He goes, "I'm on it just as soon as I'm done fishing out this squirrel." He like jams his hand down in there. Yeah. They drive off. The three guys in the alley are watching. Dale says, "Oh, Hank frittered away his fortune. God, if Peggy was the best he could do with money, what's going to happen now when she leaves him?" Boom says, "Man, you talk about it might have dang old falling, man. I heard some dumb." And Bill says, "I heard it had something to do with the internet." And
great friend.
He usually does. We're at the lake. Bobby is washing the truck. And the jet ski is sitting out there, and it's got a for sale sign on it. Hank's like, "Brand new jet ski for sale. Got all the features and really spiffy paint job there. Sure was expensive." A convertible drives up. And you can tell it's got a dad and a son in it, and the kid is a spoiled little shit. And learning about money on the street is a great line. It's true.
A good line. I like that line.
A convertible drives up and he goes, "Hey, Eric, what do you think of that jet ski? You promised me a new one. This one's probably broken." Hank says, "It's not broken. Fine, I'll prove it to you. So he takes the jet ski out as they watch, and he's, you know, bzz, bzz, bzz. By the way, the name of the jet ski is the Big B.
The Big B.
Bobby already had named it. He pulls it up and he goes, okay, then it runs perfectly fine. You happy? The kid's like, can it go any faster? He says, of course it can. Well, I'll be. And he gets on it and takes off, boy. And he goes, whoa, giddy up. He's really starting to enjoy this dumb jet ski. Yeah. Artie says, I don't know why, but when Hank called him a thief, I remember when Hank told Bobby he was a liar and a rodeo clown, he couldn't decide which was worse. He pauses and says, clown. Bobby collapsed. Yeah, that's absolutely true. All right. So later on, they're out there riding the jet ski together. And he goes, boy, that was, he pulls it back up and he's talking to the rich kid. Sorry. He goes, boy, that was fun. Hey, he goes, it's okay, I guess. We'll take it. And then the dad's like, oh, okay, I know I promised you a jet ski, but could you at least say thank you? Whatever. I'll get mom's new boyfriend to buy it for me. Bobby goes up to this dumb kid and he goes, sir, for 50 cents, I'll shine this baby up like a brand new dime. He goes, I want to see my face. He goes, all right. Hank looks at it and he knows that he has gone too far with Bobby.
Way too far.
Yeah, because now Bobby's like doing anything for 50 cents, right?
Yep.
You know, and so he knows.
It's the concept of money went the opposite.
That's exactly right. Later on, we see the for sale sign is in the trash. Hank and Bobby are on the jet ski, and we hear, Dad, go back. They're not going to wait around for us. Hank says, we're not selling it. Now, hold on tight. I'm going to gun it. He goes, we're going to keep it? We can't afford it. I'm not selling your jet ski to that little jackass. I figure the depreciation is the same on it, whether we keep it for a day or a year. Used is used, right? He goes, really? He goes, yeah, sure. We can carry it on the credit card for a little while, and then if we sell it within a year, it'll be the same Blue Book value. He goes, but credit cards should only be used in an emergency, and you should pay the balances off each month. He goes, ideally, yes. And then they take off. He gets the credits. That's our whole thing. And then after the credits, we hear, Dad, give me a big wad of cash.
Big wad of cash.
But that is it, guys. That is season 8, episode, what were we? 8.
8.
Rich Hank, Poor Hank. And
8.9.
Yeah.
I wrote notes for 9. So I learned French last night for episode 9.
Family Guy clip. Last part of your jet ski license test. Have you ever got in a fist fight with a stepdad? Which one? You pass.
Also, I think would be a good episode. There's a thing I found the other night.
Blah, blah, blah says they learned credit card advice from this from this episode.
All the episodes of The Simpsons where King of the Hill is mentioned.
Oh,
I think that'd be good to go over.
That would be kind of cool
for a Friday episode.
Yeah.
Not very many, but there are a few.
There are a few.
And there's a few where since it is a Fox, they're both Fox entities where Hank actually is physically in a Simpsons episode. And I believe there's King of the Hill goes the same way. There was one episode where it was a promo they did where I think it was in an episode 2 where
Homer shows up.
No, where Peter is in the mirror and he's ripping his face off like a nightmare, and he's like ripping his face off, and underneath him is Hank.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that would be a good episode. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell them where they can find more of this nonsense.
You can find more of Mike and I on social media at BWAAAKOTH, and we would love it if you guys would send in some emails for us to read at BWAAAKOTH@gmail.com. It'd also be cool if you went over to the YouTube. It's 2025. You guys should be watching us live now instead of hanging out with us in the past, future, and present. Go ahead and go to BWAAAKOTH on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@BWAAAKOTH.
We are like the ghosts of past, present, and future.
We are.
Ghetto Cowboy says Silver Surfer shows up in that one also.
Yes, he
which
does.
is kind of cool. All right, guys.
There's also some goofy ass shit on the internet where it's Hank as the Silver Surfer.
Oh, I kind of like that. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us today. Thank you for joining us for a Monday. And next week we'll do season 8, episode 9. Stick around if you want to be part of the Friday show.
Stick around for Friday.
I just want to say thank you to all you guys. Thank you for being here. And Artie, Michael, Ghetto Cowboy. Let's see who else we got in here. think that was it in the chat today. But thank you all for being here, we really appreciate
and Baby
it.
T in the chat.
And I think that leaves us one thing left to say.
We Matanye.
We Matanye indeed. You guys take care of yourself and have a great, great Christmas. And if I knew where the outro was, I would do it. Here we go. Bye.